The first 48 hours on a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier. You step onto a floating structure longer than 3 football fields. Before your brain can even process what you're seeing, your body reacts. The sound hits first, a violent, chest-rattling roar as jet engines scream just yards away. The air smells sharp, metallic, soaked in jet fuel. The deck beneath your boots vibrates constantly, like the ship itself is alive. You haven't slept in nearly 2 days. Your head is buzzing, your thoughts are scattered. And then it lands on you. This isn't a visit. This isn't temporary. This 1,092-foot nuclear-powered warship is now where you live. For thousands of new sailors every year, this is how their Navy career truly begins. Not in boot camp, not in classrooms, but during their first 48 hours aboard a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier. A floating city holding more than 5,000 people. A city that never sleeps. A city designed for war. Nothing in training fully prepares you for it. In the first 2 days, quietly decide whether you adapt or struggle. But the real shock doesn't happen on the flight deck. It happens the moment you realize there's no escape from the ship. Arrival, when it becomes real. The journey starts long before you see the carrier itself. After boot camp and technical school, you receive your orders, a few lines of text assigning you to one of the Navy's most powerful weapons platforms. Each carrier costs roughly $13 billion to build. Each carries around 75 aircraft. Each houses more people than many small towns back home. Most sailors report early in the morning. Official check-in is 0730, but in the military, being on time means showing up early. You arrive at the pier with your sea bag cutting into your shoulder, paperwork clutched in your hand. Then you look up. The ship towers over you, steel stacked on steel, antennas, radar arrays, island structures, and a flight deck that stretches farther than your eyes can comfortably track. The deck alone covers 4.5 acres. You walk up the gangway and stop 3/4 of the way up. You turn toward the stern. You salute the American flag. This isn't symbolism. This is protocol, and it's the moment you officially join the crew. On the quarterdeck, the officer of the deck waits. You present your ID, your orders. You request permission to come aboard. Permission granted. From that moment on, you are no longer a visitor. You are assigned, accounted for, expected to perform. Paperwork follows. Service records, emergency contacts, life insurance forms. You're issued a berthing assignment, a division, a meal card. Everything feels administrative and routine until they hand you off to an escort and send you into the ship. That's when confusion sets in. An aircraft carrier contains more than 2,700 compartments spread across multiple decks. Passageways twist without logic. Ladders are steep, narrow, nearly vertical. Signs help, but not much. New sailors get lost constantly. Everyone does. And then you reach your berthing compartment. Living conditions nobody warns you about. Reality hits fast. Your berthing space is packed. On older carriers, enlisted berthings can hold up to 180 sailors. Newer ships are better, around 40 per compartment, but better is relative. You're assigned a rack, a metal bed stacked 3 high. If you're on the top rack, you have about 2 feet of clearance between your face and the ceiling. The rack itself is roughly 6 feet long and 2.5 feet wide. You get 1 locker. That's it. Everything must fit inside. There is no personal space. None. Berthing compartments never shut down. The Navy runs on rotating watch schedules, meaning someone is sleeping while someone else is awake. Red lighting stays on constantly, dim enough for sleep, bright enough for movement. Foot traffic never stops. People climb into racks, lockers slam, boots hit the deck. Somewhere nearby, machinery hums endlessly. Pumps, ventilation systems, generators, white noise layered with sudden interruptions from the ship's announcement system at all hours. Sleeping through aircraft launches directly above you becomes a skill, one that takes weeks to develop. The bathrooms, called heads, are another adjustment. On newer carriers, berthings have attached heads. On older ships, you walk passageways just to shower. You share with dozens of people. Privacy is non-existent. You learn quickly to shower fast. Someone is always waiting. But nothing prepares you for that first night. The first night, exhaustion without rest. By the time you climb into your rack, you've likely been awake for more than 36 hours. Travel, check-in, adrenaline, it all stacks up. You're exhausted, but sleep doesn't come easily. The compartment is warm. 40 to 60 bodies generate heat non-stop. The rack shifts every time the person above or below you moves. Someone snores loudly. Someone drops something metal. The ship moves. Even tied to the pier, the ship shifts with the tide. Once underway, that motion becomes constant, subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. New sailors often feel mild seasickness their first few days. Others don't realize how tired they are until it hits all at once. Despite rumors, there's no policy keeping sailors awake. No one is forcing sleep deprivation. It happens because everything is unfamiliar. Your brain stays alert, scanning, listening, adjusting. Most new sailors get only a few hours of broken sleep their first night. Then, around 5:30, the lights come up. Morning watch personnel begin moving. Showers start running. Lockers open. The compartment fills with motion. You drag yourself out of your rack feeling like you barely closed your eyes. And day one officially begins. The sensory overload multiplies. Your division assigns you a sponsor, an experienced sailor whose job is to keep you from being completely lost. For the first few weeks, this person becomes your lifeline. Your first stop is the mess decks. Feeding over 5,000 people isn't simple. The Navy serves 4 meals a day, including midnight rations for night shifts. Lines are long, seating is tight, meal times are staggered. The food surprises most people. It's not gourmet, but it's solid. Fresh fruit, vegetables, hot meals, options for different diets. The Navy understands that hungry sailors don't perform well. Then the orientation begins. You're shown your work center, medical, the ship's store, the post office. You sit through safety briefings, emergency procedures, and explanations of the ship's mission. An aircraft carrier doesn't exist for comfort, it exists to project power. Every sailor contributes to that mission, no matter how small their role may feel. If flight operations are underway, your sponsor may take you to the flight deck. Before stepping outside, you're issued gear, cranial helmet, ear protection, goggles, float coat. A safety brief follows, and every word matters. Follow hand signals exactly. Never cross safety lines. Remove loose items. Stay alert at all times. The moment you step onto the flight deck, the experience becomes physical. The noise isn't just loud, it presses into your chest. Even with double hearing protection, you feel jet engines roaring past 140 decibels. The air smells sharp, filled the air. The deck shakes with every launch and landing. Nearly 1,000 sailors move across this space at once, each wearing color-coded jerseys that indicate their job. You watch a fighter jet taxi into position. The blast deflector rises. Engines throttle up. The catapult fires. In under 3 seconds, the aircraft goes from 0 to 165 miles per hour and disappears off the bow. Your body reacts before your mind does. Then another jet moves into place, and another, and another. Recovery operations are just as intense. Aircraft approach at 145 miles per hour, slamming into arresting wires that bring them to a dead stop in seconds. The entire ship shudders with each landing. Miss all 4 wires, and the aircraft immediately takes off again. A bolter. It happens more often than people think. This is when most new sailors realize something important. This job leaves no margin for error. Every rule exists because someone was hurt before that rule existed. When the work begins. By the end of your first full day, you report to your actual work center. This is where your life will revolve for years. Aviation ratings work directly with aircraft. Engineering ratings maintain reactors and propulsion systems.
Operations ratings monitor radar, intelligence, and navigation. Supply ratings keep food and logistics flowing. No matter the role, qualifications start immediately. You cannot stand watch alone until you're qualified. That means studying systems, passing exams, demonstrating competence, and earning signatures from senior sailors. Some qualifications take months. The work schedule is demanding. 12-hour shifts are common during operations. Between watch-standing, training, maintenance, cleaning stations, and drills, days blur together. The Navy has improved sleep management in recent years, introducing circadian watch rotations on some ships, but reality remains unchanged. Carrier operations never stop, neither does the crew. Veterans quietly share stories of working 48 to 72 hours straight during intense periods. You also start learning ship culture. Your division becomes your family. These are the people you depend on in emergencies.